Hello everyone, it's Daisy here again with another layout. This layout was made using the Stuck Sketches October 1st sketch. And I was excited to play along with this. Now it did include, something that I loathe using, which is circles, but I worked it out by using doilies, and that's usually my go-to. But anywho, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the background of this sketch is kind of on an angle a little bit. So here you just see me going through I thought I was going to use some black and white paper. So I pulled out a bunch of papers from the Pebbles Jen Hadfield homemade collection. And I really liked this flower one, but it wasn't going to work with what I wanted to do. So I thought that I would use this black polka dot one. And then I pulled out all of my Amy Tangerine, not all of them, but a lot of my Amy Tangerine papers. I have a couple of 6x6 paper pads, and I also have some 8.5 by 11 papers that I had gotten as a best of deal from Michael's. And so I'm just going through and I'm pulling out a few that I think I want to use with these photos. Now these photos were from 2013. They are the first day of school for my kids that year, and it was the first year that my youngest daughter was going to school as well, so all three of them were going to be in school all day, which it was super exciting for me. I was going to nursing school at the time, and I was just so excited to not have to try to figure out what I was going to do with my daughter while I was in class or how I could study or whatever. So it was a very exciting time for me. Kind of a bittersweet kind of moment, actually, because, she's my baby, and now she didn't need me as much anymore. But anyhow, so these pictures were taken outside of our house that we lived in at the time, and we always do, well, ever since the 2013 year, we do one serious picture with them holding up the grade that they're going to go into on their fingers, and then one silly picture. And so this layout required two photos, so I'm going to use one of each, one of the silly and one of the serious. And my son is wearing a shirt that says, "Ask me about my stash," and then he pulls the shirt up, and on the inside of the shirt it has a mustache, so he can hold it up in front of his face, and so that's kind of the joke that he's doing. And then the other two are just making silly faces. So here I'm trying to cut this paper down after putting that white, it's a color book cardstock that I got from Walmart. After putting that down kind of askew on the paper, I had to cut it down so that it's a 12 by 12 size. Now I was thinking about using that Amy Tangerine paper that I just threw up at the top of my desk there, because I had kind of a circle doily type shape on it, but I can't get it to work, so that won't make it on the layout. So I'm just picking a couple papers here to map my photos on. And I did change from the sketch just slightly. The angle on the paper, I wanted to have more of the background paper showing down at the bottom, so I changed the angle slightly so there's more on the bottom and there isn't as much up at the top. So now I follow the sketch pretty closely with this one, so I'm cutting a few banners to go behind the photos, and I'm using this blue paper, which is also Amy Tangerine. I think I end up using all papers. I believe all the ones I end up using are from the Better Together collection. I love that collection. It's got all these navy blues, and I really, really love navy blue. Sorry if you can hear the traffic outside. It's a beautiful day here, and it's one of the last ones before it gets all cold and rainy, so I decided to leave my window open, so I'm sorry if you can hear that and it's distracting. But anyway, so I picked out that navy blue paper. It's kind of like a almost like watercolor, but it's really um, filled in the whole page. Kind of a you can see the brush strokes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then I also chose a piece of paper from the 6x6 pad that has a bunch of different words on it. And so I was going to try to fussy cut out that medallion shape out of that Amy Tangerine paper, and I quickly gave up on that because it was too intricate and I do not have patience sometimes for fussy cutting, and this was one of those days. So then I decided to pull out these green doilies that I got from the Target dollar spot. And I loved these colors when I picked them up. It's like a mint green, but a bright mint green, and so my frustration is it never matches anything. But it went really well with the papers in this collection, so I chose to use that. Now you just see me going through these wood veneer pieces, and I had just gotten, I think 6 packs of wood veneer. 6? Yeah, I believe 6 packs of wood veneer from peachycheap.com in all different sizes and shapes and things. Sorry if you heard my dogs, somebody's walking by. And so I pulled out a bunch that I thought I was going to use. I was going to use some of those asterisks, and then I was going to use those little circle pieces. I think I picked out 2 that have hearts on them, but I don't end up using them. And I'm just inking the edges of all my papers using, I think I'm just using a navy blue that is it's a Hobby Lobby Stampabilities ink. And now I'm going through it because I decided I don't like that black paper with all the navy I'm using, so I'm looking for my Amy Tangerine papers, which I do not have very many 12x12 Amy Tangerine papers, which is sad, but everything that I pulled out there, they're all Amy Tangerine. So I'm just looking for what I think will go best. And it kills me to do this, but I'm going to use this navy with white polka dot. And that is also from Better Together, I believe. But I am going to I'm going to cut like the center of it out in the back because I love the other side of that paper, that right there. The like green and mint and navy triangles. I love that paper. So I'm saving as much of it as I can. And then you're also going to see me kind of tip the layout. Oh, here I'm pulling out. I'm going to sew on it, and I use a zigzag and a straight stitch to go all the way around the edge of the white paper, and I'm just using a navy thread. It's a Simplicity thread that I had gotten for Christmas as part of like a big sewing kit. So you're just going to see me stitch around here. Now I am going to turn the sketch so that the bottom matte paper is going to end up being on the left, or I'm sorry, on the right side. Just because I didn't like the way that the paper that I mounted the top picture on was interacting with that matte paper. So that's how I fixed it, just by turning it. I also did stitch on the banners. I just stitched them together to try to pull in some of that stitching. And so here you can see how I turned it. And I'm sorry I'm off camera a little bit. I didn't realize that I was so badly out of frame, but. And now you're going to see me mess up my doily. I don't know what I was thinking, but I totally tear it there, and then I just keep trying. So then I finally found my glue dots, so I decided to use those. And I cover up the center area, so it doesn't really matter that I ripped it, but I'm just going to pop this picture up. And I'm just using, that's the fun foam that I got at Walmart. I really do love this layout quite a lot. I love the graphicness of it, and I love the colors, and I think it goes really well with the photos. So I was just thinking about whether I wanted to pop that picture up as well, but I decided not to. And then I think I put that down further than I meant to. Oh, nope, it wasn't straight and it was driving me crazy. That is one thing I have to say for making videos. I cannot get used to not like sticking my head over everything. And I usually don't adhere things down as I go, so I can't like keep picking up the page to look at it to see if things are straight. So it's definitely something I'm struggling with the videos. Now, sorry I didn't cut this part out. I'm just fussy cutting out a couple of those cameras that I'm going to use, and that's just from an 8.5 by 11 piece of Amy Tangerine paper. It was from the Best of collection. Sorry if I said that already. I don't remember if I did. And I don't know where I went. Oh, I think I'm just looking for some embellishments. Now I remembered finding, I have this little yellow bicycle, like book of tags all about school. So I think that's what I'm looking for. And I also have some October Afternoon Daily Flash die cuts, and they are all about school as well. So I think that I'm trying to decide how to embellish it, and then I will eventually remember that I have these different things. So I think I come back. Any minute now I'll come back. I also was kind of struggling. I didn't know what to title this page. And so I was thinking about my title a lot too. Oh, I think I was looking for some tags too, because on the sketch it has some tags coming out of the side of the photos, and I don't have a lot of tags in my stash. Most of the ones that I have are from cut apart sheets, so I think I was just kind of digging around to see what I could come up with. So I really liked that banner that I had, that I just put at the top there. That's from that little yellow bicycle tag book, but it's too big, so I only end up using the school rules part of it. And so here you see me going through those Daily Flash die cut pieces, and I'm going to pick out some circular elements to add to the page. And I'm kind of looking for that orangish color, the yellow color, and if there's a, I think that star there is navy blue. So those are kind of the colors that I'm looking for my embellishment pieces, because they go really well with the background papers. So that little piece there that I'm putting down says first day of school. That's actually going to end up being my title. I know, super original, but I just could not come up with anything else, because that's what it was the first day of school. I'm going to end up with a gazillion layouts titled the first day of school. And then I cut off the top of that. It looks like a little notebook piece of paper, and then it's got kind of an embellished edge on it, and it just said notes up at the top, and so I cut that off, and that's going to represent one of the tags. And I'm just trying to decide where my clusters are going to go, so I am going to put kind of a little cluster down by the first day of school title piece there, and then one at the top of that photo, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side, or on the other photo. And I really wanted to include those cameras just because it's something that I don't use very often. I think the cameras are cute, but I just feel I don't know, weird sticking them on a page, I guess. So I just decided I'm gonna give it the old college try and get those on a layout there. So you're just going to see me gluing some of this stuff down. I cut the top of that banner off. It just says school rules, and I put that up at the top there. And I'm just going to pop some of the little circles up. I am inking everything with that navy ink. And I did end up using the bottom of that embellished tag to kind of ground that cluster there. And I was just looking for another circular element with some yellow on it to put up at the top. And I do end up pulling out that little red, I think it says check it out, but I think I flip it over so it's just blank. And I do add some Doodlebug sequins to this in the navy color, just kind of around the page. And then I am going to add the year in some freckle fawn numbers, and they're kind of the same mint color as the doilies. And I'm going to put down 2012 and then realize that that can't be right, so then I change it to 2013. But that's pretty close to the end of the layout. I don't think I do much more than that. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. I have, quite a few more layouts coming up, so I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Bye.